Welcome to Tricky Mickey. Please subscribe, share, and like. We're going to examine the lost continent of Atlantis, its history, its traditions, its mythology. Did Atlantis really exist? What evidence in archaeology, in all the exploration conducted by scientists? What is Atlantis? Well, a very famous wise man lived a long time ago called Plato. He wrote about a place called Atlantis. The story goes that Atlantis was a very special place of learning. It was a very good place to live, and Atlantis unfortunately sank into the ocean. Plato was a great man of philosophy of ancient Greece. Plato was a classical Greek philosopher, mathematician, and founder of the Academy in Athens. Plato was originally a student of Socrates, a great philosopher of Socratic methods. In some of his work, he described a wonderful continent. It was called Atlantis. It was like heaven. The people were hardworking and religious, and they respected the law. Then something terrible happened. Atlantis is a legendary island. Plato believed that Atlantis was in the Atlantic Ocean, near the Azores, off the coast of Portugal. The second theory is that this place was in the Bahamas, and also in the Aegean Sea near Greece. This theory, to Plato around 350 BC. He first was the one to write about Atlantis. We first now examine Atlantis in the Atlantic Ocean near South America. As you can see, it's a big continent, Atlantis. But then again, some people also say that South America was Atlantis because of the Inca ancient civilization. And they were very advanced in astronomy, mathematics. Also, another theory was that during the last ice age, the ocean level was more lower and it exposed more land, and more people were able to live on this land. And when the ice age melted, it covered this original continental shelf that is now underwater. But where is Atlantis exactly? Let us explore other possibilities. As we can see on this map, Atlantis was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, but as the ocean level rose, it covered many of the other continental shelf. This is an ancient map of Atlantis. It was thousands of years old. Nobody really knows who drew this map, but apparently we need to find out, is there any real evidence for Atlantis? A Dr. Ray Brown went diving with 4 divers, and he found at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean near the Bahamas rows, domes, rectangular buildings, unidentified metallic instrument, and a statue holding a mysterious crystal containing miniature pyramid. He took this back to Florida for examination, and it found that it had electrical current unknown to modern science. They couldn't deduce what it was. We're going to explore the Bimini Road off the Bahamas, as you can see in the circles. Modern airplanes have noted that on the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean, there seems to be certain rectangular and roads that cannot be necessarily explained. In 1968, for example, the Bimini Road was discovered in less than 15 feet of water off the floor of the Atlantic Ocean north of the Bimini Islands in the Bahamas. As we examine further, pilots also photographed from the air structures that look like buildings, walls, and roads under the water off the Bimini Island in the Bahamas. Other people have claimed to have seen pyramids and stone circles on the seabed. And if you go there, you can see it for yourself. For example, as you can see, these structures cannot just be made by human hand. Some people have stated, scientists, that this could be the ocean currents, but they seem to be too artificial, too exactly man-made. And if you explore it for yourself, you can determine exactly what is the Bimini Road. It looks artificial. There's another theory that after the last ice age, there was also an incredible earthquake that moved the continent of Atlantis down the Atlantic Ocean into what is now known as Antarctica. But on the opposite side of the Atlantic Ocean, away from Bimini, There's also another location that is possible candidate for the remains of Atlantis in the exact place where Plato put it, in the European sphere of influence, in the Mediterranean Sea, near the island of Crete. Let us explore this. What happened? You're looking at the Black Sea. It used to be cut off from the Mediterranean Sea, but after the last ice age retreated, the ocean came in and flooded into the Black Sea and turned a freshwater lake into a saltwater Black Sea. A lot of the civilizations around there were drowned. This created possible the myth of Atlantis, a lot of lost civilization in prehistoric time. We do not know for sure, but we do have excavations, diving excavation that has gone down into the Black Sea and found the remains of many lost civilization. As we study Plato's many mythology and legends, what was he trying to say in his story? Was it a morality tale? Was it actual history? Let us look further into this. Was Atlantis first described in Greek philosopher's Plato more than 2,000 years ago? While many believe the story is a myth created by Plato to illustrate his theories about politics, others insist it is based on a real historical disaster. According to Plato's account, written around 360 BC, Atlantis was a major sea power located in the Atlantic. It was larger than ancient Libya and Asia Minor, modern Turkey, put together, and was the way to other islands and from there to other parts of the continent and the world. His account included detailed description of the island with mountains in the north, along the coast, and in the plain on the south. Its kings were descended from Poseidon, the god of the sea, but their divine lineage became diluted as they mixed with mortal, regular human beings. By around 960 BC, the island had conquered most of Western Europe and Africa and enslaved its enemies. This date would make the city nearly as old as the rest of the Ice Age and predates the earliest recovered city-states found in what is now Iraq, so seems rather unlikely. After a failed attempt to invade Athens, the entire island sank into the sea in a single day and night of misfortune. We now look at Greece. Greece is the place of Sparta, Athens, and many other city-states of ancient Greek civilization. Also, the Minoan civilization was found in the middle of the Aegean Sea around the island of Santorini, but Crete is the center of the Minoan civilization. We are going to examine what happened to the Minoan civilization and how this could have contributed to the ancient legend of Atlantis. This is another theory. Thera, also known now as Santorini, was originally a bigger island, but it had a volcano in the center, and unfortunately it erupted. Mount Thera was 36 miles in circumference, 1,857 feet in the summit, located in Greece. In about 1620 BC, it was destroyed by a major eruption of the volcano. It caused an incredible tidal wave, a tsunami of proportion unimaginable, drowning the Minoan civilization. The Minoan civilization had enough time for the people to get into boats and to leave because skeletal remains were not found on that island. So in 1750 BC, earthquake destroyed the Minoan palace, volcano erupted in Thea, war between the Minoan and the Mycenaean led to their decline. Thera, it was a Greek island that had a volcano at its center, as I stated before. This caused most of the city on Thera to disappear, leading to the legend of Atlantis. The tsunami from this may have destroyed Kronos, which was the capital of the Minoan civilization. What is the Thera summary? Thera was an important center of Minoan civilization. Its eruption was being linked to the Atlantis legend. The eruption and caldera collapse event at 1620 BC contributed to the decline and ultimate demise of the Minoan culture around 1450 BC. The large tsunami was generated due to this eruption, and it reached all the way to the coast of Egypt. The end of Atlantis, it sank into the ocean in a single day and night of misfortune, according to Plato, because the people changed their lifestyle and became greedy and offended the god Poseidon. Does this theory of Santorini give you pause to understand that all civilization have their beginning, their rise, and eventual their fall? All empire, according to human history, go through a cycle, and it eventually ends in their destruction by many, many causes, especially when people forget their original culture and their values and their tradition. We are put on this planet to help each other and to be considerate. Thank you for listening to the ancient lost content of Atlantis. This is Tricky Mickey. Please subscribe, share, and like. Thank you, and until next time, bye.